Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Raquel. But anyway, I'm about to give y'all a story time on my labor at 14. Like, I went in labor at 14. Well, I got induced, but it's the same thing. I still went in labor. So, I went to the hospital December 26th, and KJ was born on December 27th. I went in, I signed in, and then they brought me up to the room where you give like birth in. So did blood tests. They put me on these little machines around my belly to see what, like, how I'm progressing, because I was 2 centimeters dilated already. But it wasn't enough for me to go in labor. So I actually had him early because they said he was too big and they didn't want me having a C-section. So I had him at like 39 weeks, I think. I was supposed to have him January 2nd. I had him December 27th. So I had him early, and then they was checking my vitals and stuff, you know, same old. Put the thing around my belly to see like where I'm going. And then they put me in labor. They induced me by putting the balloon weight in me. Like, they put this little balloon thing. I'm gonna add a picture. It was really uncomfortable, y'all. People said it was gonna hurt, but it didn't really hurt. It was like real uncomfortable hurt. Like, it was like, ouch. Like what? So it was like, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh. It was like, oh my gosh, this low-key hurt. This so uncomfortable right now. So then you could like actually fill it up. They put it inside your vagina. So yeah. It took me a while for me to go in labor. And they gave me this medicine. Yeah, at first they thought I couldn't get medicine because something was wrong with me when they went to blood work. So they had to like do my blood work over. They had to redo it before they gave me medicine. So I was like hurting until they got the blood work, and that was like a while. So I'm getting induced, and they told me to eat before I went in labor because you can't eat in labor. So I ate, but then my contractions started coming. So I was in too much pain to eat my delicious food. Y'all, the food was so good. I would never forget the food. I'm sorry for making that noise, y'all, my bad. I would never forget the food that I had ate because it was so good. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna order it again when I'm like done with my labor. Y'all, the food ain't never hit the same. So then I had stopped eating because I was too much pain. But y'all, I did eat on some lifesavers when I was pregnant. Like, not while I was pregnant, while I was in labor. My whole labor, I was eating on them hard lifesavers, the multicolored ones. And I was like, so it wasn't that bad. Like, I was just eating on them for like 7 hours, you know. So I started going in labor. Cause y'all, when I went to the hospital, I was only 2 centimeters dilated. And that's not enough. That's not enough. Like, for you to have your baby. You gotta be, I think, 10 centimeters dilated. And I was only 2. So I was like, I had a long way to go. And so the balloon started working, and y'all, they broke my water. Like, my water. Yeah, I'm sorry, I really wanted to experience that. Like, me going in labor, my water breaking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go to the hospital. But y'all ain't had it. Like, and I'm like, so mad for that. Like, I really wanted to have that experience. Like, I started drinking the pregnancy labor teas to make you go in labor. Y'all, that did not work. Okay. But anyway, so they broke my water. It was very uncomfortable. It's like gush, like, it was like, ugh, like, I don't even know how to explain. It was real uncomfortable. It was warm. Okay, missed subject. So yeah, they broke my water, and then boom, I'm in labor. So I'm in labor. Right when I go in labor, y'all, I'm ready for the epidural. I was in so much pain. The labor pains, the contractions don't hurt till about like for 2 minutes. So I'm like, And then I'm like, and so I was so ready for my epidural, and y'all, mom was like, no, Raquel, wait a little longer, just a little, because I was only 2 centimeters dilated, and I have to be 10 centimeters dilated. And I got so mad, I started crying. I'm like, I'm in pain. God, the only reason she said that was because she didn't want the epidural wearing off while I was in labor, because it was still kind of early for me to get my epidural, but I could still get it. But I was like, oh my gosh. And so I started crying and everything. I started crying in labor. And so the lady came in. Well, it was actually a man. The man came in. He put the epidural in my back. Y'all, the epidural don't hurt for real. Like, people be dramatic, because I used to, like, watch videos on, like, labor story times. I used to watch them when I was pregnant. And I was like, oh, my gosh, the epidural hurt something. Y'all, it do not hurt that bad. And, y'all, like, my pain tolerance is really high. It's like a pinch, like it's a long, and then you can feel it going up your back. It's just like a pinch, like a hard pinch, and then it boom, it's over with. It's so fast and simple. It's not when people make it be seem like. So I'm in the epidural. I'm steady clicking the epidural button. Every time I feel a little inch of pain, I'm clicking that button. Simple, because I don't want to feel no pain. I want to have a pain-free labor. And y'all, I really wish I would have waited, to be honest, low-key, now that I'm thinking about it. Once I started feeling the pains, I'm like, epidural, what epidural at? So anyway, so yeah, I'm in like labor, like the whole progress until I had KJ. I was in, it took like 7 hours before I had KJ, so I was just in the hospital room chilling. And I was actually asleep like the rest of my labor. I was in the bed asleep, like for real. That sleep was the best sleep I ever had. The staff was so nice. It was a good sleep. Let me just say that was the best sleep ever. I ain't even gonna cap. That sleep was so good. And so the only time they like woke me up was to like check where I'm at. I'm kind of sick. To check where I'm at and my vitals and stuff, and like how I'm doing, and to give me some medicine, and that's it. And I went back to sleep after that. So boom, I'm asleep, and then I'm sleeping, like I'm having a peaceful sleep of my life. I'm like, I'm knocked out, I'm having a good sleep. And y'all, they come in the room saying it's time for me to push. I'm like, what? I'm like, is y'all gonna give me a tutorial? Yeah, they ain't give me no tutorials on how to push, and then they just told me it's time to push. I'm like, what you mean? It's time to push. And yeah, I'm like, I'm so asleep, I'm knocked out, like sob everything. And they just wake up, it's like, okay, you 10 centimeters dilated. It's time to get up and push. I'm like, what? And so I was like, oh my God, it's time for me. And y'all, like the epidural got me so well, I couldn't even lift up my legs. I'm like, how am I pushing? I can't even lift my legs up. So they told me how to push in like, for like 2 seconds before I had to push. And I was real simple, fast. You had to push with your stomach. Not like push, but you push with your stomach. Like, because at first I thought you like push, like you taking a poop push, but no. You just push with your stomach, like. Alright, but anyway. So yeah, y'all. So then I had KJ. I had KJ in 10 minutes. And I pushed 5 times. So I feel like that was good for my first time. And then I was young. I was like, okay, period. I did that. So I had KJ and they checked me up. But I was like bleeding a lot. I was bleeding a lot. So I was like, they was like, oh my God, she bleeding a lot. So I had to stay there like longer so they could clean me up. And I was like, I had to stay there for a while because of how much I was bleeding. But anyway, I ended up being fine, and they ended up getting it all together. So thank Jesus for that. So, and I actually held KJ when he came out. And he peed all on me when he first came out. Like, when they gave it to me, he was just peeing all on me. So I was like, oh my gosh. And then I just held him. And then they got him and bathed him and stuff. Because I was so tired out of it. Like, I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even move my legs. Only thing I could move was my arms, for real. Like, that's the only thing I could move. From my hips down, I could not move or feel. Or like, I barely could feel my stomach either. Like when they pushed down on my stomach, I couldn't feel that. I couldn't feel it. So like, only thing I was using was my arms, for real. And so I had KJ, and then they took me to, I think it's called, I forgot what it's called, but it's the, like, they take you to a different floor after you had a baby. And so I was up on their floor for like a couple, 3 days I was up there. So, or was it 2? It was 3 or 2 days. So they took me up there, and then it was like, what time was it? Y'all, I forgot what time it was. I think it was 2:07 once I had him. And they gave me this good food. They had a sandwich because the cafeteria wasn't open. So they had gave me sandwich, grapes, chips, a Sprite. And I don't even eat sandwiches for real, but I was hungry. Okay, I ain't eating like 5 hours. I was hungry. So I tore that sandwich up for real. So I feel like he slept in the hospital pretty well by his first time. He slept pretty good. I showered. Yeah, it was pretty. I actually liked my labor. That was probably my favorite part of my whole pregnancy was my labor. And like when I had him in the hospital and stuff, it was actually a pretty good experience. The staff was pretty nice. And yeah, I feel like I don't think I'm missing nothing else. Labor, I actually pushed. I told y'all that I did not have a C-section. I got induced. I got an induction. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, I think I'm gonna add a video on me. I edited my pregnant at 14 story time, and then Loki did with labor and my mama reaction and my pregnant at 14 and how it went. So if y'all want to go watch that video, y'all can watch that video. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all.
Little push again. Remember that belly.
Deliver. 7:02.
Boy, now you make me float.